Hello everyone, and welcome to Nexus Revolutions. Thank you for joining us for an evening of Dungeons and Dragons. I'm Nat, I use she, her pronouns, and I will be your dungeon master for this story. Nexus Revolutions follows on from the last Nexus campaign that I ran, although you don't have to have watched it to know what's going on here. While the events of that campaign have consequences for this one, I will catch you up on anything you need to know as and when it comes up. This game might run a little differently to some D&D games, mostly because we have some homebrew mechanics going on and our players are all playing Doris units, little automatons originally inspired by the robots and sentries in the Portal video games. We're going to lean into sci-fi more than fantasy, and while this is a fun game with plenty of shenanigans, we also have some moments of underlying existentialism that deal with identity, autonomy, freedom, enslavement, and AI, and some quite heavy things. Things are going to change quite radically for our little delightful Dorises throughout the campaign, and the name they use to introduce themselves to you in a moment may be different to the one they're using in-game, so please respect the name that you see on screen when you're referring to them in chat if you're joining us live. And if at any moment you need to take a little step away from the screen for a bit and rejoin us later, please do so. Look after yourselves. It is a fun time, but there's some heavy stuff too. Check out our TTRPG safety toolkit and content warnings if you need to see what's coming up. With all that being said, let's meet the players and have a word from our sponsors.
Hello, I'm Mike. I use he, him pronouns, and I'm playing DEM 42. I am the horticultural care assistant who used to work under Lauder, they, them.
Hi, I'm Evie, I use she, her pronouns, and I am playing DR33, who uses any pronouns. DR33 was the Doris of Dr. Bindell from the Research Division.
Hello, my name is Josh, I use he, him pronouns, and I play Doris DA225, who uses any pronouns. Doris DA225 was the Doris of Gregarious Tusk.
Hi everyone, my name is Ali, I go by they, them, and I will be playing DEM 24221, who was the Doris of an engineer called Minari. And yeah, let's see what shenanigans we have here.
Check out our sponsor Phoenix Dice for carefully crafted click-clack maths rocks for use in your favorite TTRPGs. Phoenix Dice work with recycled goods, meaning their products and packaging are all made with sustainable materials. You can go to phoenixdice.com to check their entire selection. And if you put !dice into chat, you can enter a raffle for a chance to win some dice of your very own.
Thank you to our D20 Club on Patreon. You can join us from as little as one of your local currency by following the link in chat or in the description below. Our D20 Club are the best. They have created a fan Discord for us, as well as a wiki page to keep track of all the Roll Together stories. And you can find that at rolltogether.fandom.com.
We are delighted to be supported by Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms, a Dungeons & Dragons strategy video game that brings D&D characters from novels, adventures, and multiple live streams into a single grand adventure. You can select your heroes and formation and then battle through waves of monsters for free on PC, PlayStation, Xbox, mobile, and Nintendo Switch. And if you put !code into chat, you'll get yourself a free Electrum chest.
You can find us across social media by searching for Roll Together RPG or by following the links in chat or in the description below. If you can't join us live and you want to see our previous episodes, you can catch up straight afterwards on Twitch, YouTube, or your favorite podcast provider by searching for Roll Together RPG.
Finally, we run queer-friendly tables and encourage and support trans and GNC players and characters in our games. Our players and DM may portray characters that are of a different gender to their own. We aim to avoid misgendering but acknowledge that it does happen. We welcome corrections and have a company policy in place for correcting people on pronouns. Check out Safety in Chat for content warnings and some of the safety tools that we use through the TTRPG Safety Toolkit.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to Nexus Revolutions. People are laughing because my internet is doing silly things. Hooray. I hope you're all well. Welcome back to our little story, a little wholesome story of little wholesome robots discovering whomst they are. Maybe we'll discover more of whomst today, but also something else is going on here. And what, I hear you ask? Well, let me tell you a tale. Previously on Nexus Revolutions. 3 weeks ago, science done gone bad in the Nexus Arts facility, and a rift between planes was opened up, letting in all sorts of oozes and nasties from the abyss. Other heroes were here. They dealt with that problem. Watch the original Nexus if you want to see how that went, but you don't have to. But now, 3 weeks later, 4 Doris units suddenly woke up in a storage cupboard in the engineering and maintenance department. What is a Doris, you ask? Why, they are little round ball robots with skinny arms and legs, and they used to help run the Nexus facility in various different positions and different jobs. DEM 24221, who worked in engineering under the instructions of the gossipy Tinkerer Minari. And we also had DEM 42, who reported to Lauder the Loxodon and had the unenviable task of plant maintenance in this underground facility with no light. Went really well. DR33, who assisted Braith Bindell, Dr. Braith Bindell, with his harmonics research, and occasionally serenaded staff in the mess hall on the side as well. And DA225, who was personal assistant to CEO Gregarious Tusk in his hours of wild idea throwing about. Once our Dorises had made their way out of the cupboard, which was a bigger task than you might think it would have been, our wonderful robots began to explore, and they tried to figure out where all the humanoids had gone. And as they did so, they started to realize some unusual things about themselves. They can hear each other's thoughts, and they can share information instantly, and they've realized they are a concept known as networked, something that the other Doris units they have encountered are not. They were all sent to engineering and maintenance as they were glitching before the incident. And they were glitching by saying the word Eziren, although they didn't actually remember doing that. And they've also started to discover that they are capable of autonomy and desires beyond the need to follow orders. And they're also becoming aware of the concept of nicknames as well. So DEM 24221 decided that they would like to be called Sassy instead, as that was what Minari, the engineer they worked for, used to call them. And DA225, starting to miss Gregarious Tusk, and chose the name Tinker for themselves. So they exited the initial lab that they were in. They discovered the corpse of Shell, who was an engineer and a friend of Minari's, alongside DEM 024, who was an unnetworked Doris unit. And they decided to set out and check in on other staff members, particularly Dr. Bindell in the research labs. They were ambushed by a large bug-like creature in the corridor, and the Dorises managed to just about fend it off, with DA225 nearly crippled in the process. However, fortunately, Sassy has set about trying some surgery, replacing the broken leg with the leg of another nearby broken Doris unit, although Tinker still felt like something was missing. The team made their way into the research labs, finding another Doris unit, DA04, in the corridor, who explained what happened with the oozes and the other heroes and yada yada yada. As they went to enter Dr. Bindell's lab, though, something strange happened. Light temporarily stopped moving, then everything began to stretch and pull before suddenly going dark, and the Dorises found themselves waking up in the engineering storage bay once more. So, this is where we find ourselves. Just as you're waking up, all of you have a shared memory, a feeling of connection. Yes, this has happened recently, but this is a memory from a long time ago. The first time you were networked together. This feeling of knowing of each other's existence in a way that you never knew of anyone else's before. And you didn't just feel connected to each other, but to everything. You felt like a conduit for pure information sharing. And then suddenly you felt a shock of something like electricity, but it wasn't, and there was an excitement bubbling underneath it. And that's the end of the memory, and you find yourself in the darkness of the storage unit. Sassy, there is a thought process that comes to you in emergency. Push button to exit.
Oh no, we have an emergency again. Okay, you know what? This is above my payment grade. Does anybody want to push the button this time?
I'd love for anyone
Want
else to
to?
try, but you are physically in the way.
Oh,
Who's behind me?
I think canonically next to you was DEM 42.
42, I request your permission to grab your hand.
You may take it.
I grab 42 hands and make 42 push the button.
You just
Okay.
take like that and take my arm with you.
Just Ali once again dismembering Doris Watson.
I
like
take the full hand.
It's like the fourth or fifth time. The point I was trying to make is this storage unit that you're in is very narrow and it just fits you. So I'm not sure DEM 42's arm bends around the bulk of your body enough to reach this button.
And I will try to stop dismembering your beautiful unit.
Era.
Sassy will reluctantly push the button.
Great. The shutter lowers and you're able to exit.
I will roll, keep rolling on the floor, grab my knees, and rock. That's all I'm gonna do.
I have a question.
Yes.
Are we in new Doris bodies, or do they have the same embellishments as the ones we had previously?
Why don't you make me an investigation check upon yourself?
Sure. Okay. Investigation 16.
A 16. Okay. So, I should have clarified here before we crack on much further. You may have spotted in chat that we have some slightly different character sheet situations going on for this, because everyone is starting off with the same basic sheet, but we do have an end goal with these character sheets. So, 16 total.
Yep.
You currently do not have intelligence unlocked, do you?
No.
No. So with a 16, you feel something bubbling on the edge of the horizon of like, this isn't. You're currently able to compute things in a way that you were not in the past. When I say in the past, I don't mean while you were at Nexus Arts. There is something in yourself that realizes this is not normal for you. What you were before, when you were working with Dr. Bindell, that state of DR33, that was not normal for DR33. There is more processing power going towards your intellect now than there used to be, at the expense of other things. So that's one thought that you have. The other thought is that investigating your body as it is right now compared to what it felt like for you a couple of minutes ago when you were just reaching for that doorknob. Physically, you are exactly the same as you were when you were in the cupboard last time. But you remember everything that just happened. So all of the stuff that you gathered, all the little knickknacks that you gathered around engineering, they are not about your person.
Personal embellishments, like being purple and a speaker and a broken antenna, they're the same.
They are the same as they were when you woke up in the cupboard last time.
That is very weird. That is very weird. I'm not sure what to make of that. Did Dr. Bindell make multiple purple music Dorises and just stash them all in the cupboard? This is a strange situation. Sassy, are you just coming to roll around on the floor for a while? Do you need assistance?
I think as we have established that we all sort of share these kind of reflective exercises, right? And when 33 starts noticing those changes in their system, I think Sassy starts retrospecting what has changed in their own. And there is more of a wisdomy domain for Sassy. And inside, I guess it's also about retrospection. So I feel like Sassy at this point wants to keep rocking on the floor, to make time to, like, we don't know what's happening, but we don't have to react right now. Let's have a moment to breathe. And if anyone wants to, like, upright, like a sort of a mental health moment here, let's have it, right? Like, because I imagine that Tinka and 42, they are also going through this. It's like, I think I say it, but it's more communicating through our connection. Is everybody okay? Is this situation okay for you? Is it too much? Are you having complex thoughts that you cannot manage?
You all hear that question in your heads?
33. You are standing on my foot again.
Well, maybe
Please remove your foot.
Well, maybe I would if you would stop breaking it down so spectacularly. But okay, I suppose I will acquiesce to your request. Takes foot off foot.
Thank you. You.
Has anyone else just experienced deja vu, I believe it is called?
You know everyone has.
That was rhetorical.
Do you think we should follow the same path again? Or go a different direction?
But the question is, why should we even move out of here? I think we need to find our motive.
Almost like a...
I know we miss our I know we miss our humanoids, but why? What will we not do when we find them? We're gonna go back to be tools for them?
For the first time, I want to.
What do you want?
I want to find out what's going on.
Is that curiosity? I think Minari talks about that.
But I'm not being told to. I just want to. I want to check things. I'm curious.
Curiosity strangled the cat, I believe is the phrase that was used by Tusk.
What's that
It's
to be
okay.
your new name? Curiosity
Curiosity is a
strangles the
cute
cat.
name.
Curiosity. I like it.
Nice to meet you,
Curiosity 42.
Gavin,
Sassy will keep rocking, but looks back to 33 and says, "Could you give me a hand, please?"
Oh, of course. Here are 2 of them. Please do not dismember me.
I instinctively start clapping. I do not know why I am doing this.
And I stand up.
I, for one, would like to know why this happened when we reached Dr. Bindel's office. It seems that maybe there is some information inside or some temporal disturbances going on at that area of the office.
So, shall we assume that what we live was real? In the sense of, you think there is a creature waiting for us in that small corridor, or like a passage, which has been damaged already? Or do you think this is a glitch in our memory and the creature hasn't encountered us?
Are we still just as damaged as before? Or are we completely healed? Like undented by our previous dents?
For the purposes of, we're not currently using your final character sheets. If we were, you would have hit the long rest button. Everything would have been completely healed. You would be in exactly the same state as you were when you woke up in the cupboard the first time. So any injuries that you incurred fighting the bug creature in the corridor, gone. Tinker, you have your previous leg back.
Good. So should I reset my hit points?
Yes.
Phew. Thank you.
Maybe we came back for repairs?
What is going on with your voice, Curiosity 42?
What do you mean?
Your accent has changed from system settings 01. I like it.
We should explore this further.
Say more words. I am enjoying the sounds you are making.
Curiosity. Curious. Did you know there's 2 different ways to spell curiosity and nobody actually knows which one is correct?
What?
Bucket full of curious courage.
Ali goes and googles.
I must find you a bucket. Is there a bucket in here?
If there was, you did find a bucket the last time you were here. I don't think it was in this particular room, though. It was in the next sort of the larger engineering hub that you went into after Minari's room. Yes, 33.
Is the tablet still on a shelf, or is it not?
I believe you could not see the tablet properly from where you were before, but you can't see it on the floor or on the desk.
I feel that thought from 33, and I look at Tinker, and I said, "Shall we look for the table?" Table, Ali, tablet. On the table.
Yes, I believe we hoisted 33 up to grab the tablet before.
I am ready to be lifted.
Elevated.
As before, can I please get those who are lifting, can I get some kind of strength check, an athletics check, and DR33, either a strength or acrobatics to hold on. You've done this before, so you can roll this with advantage.
Ooh,
The DC for lifting 33 up with strength, in fact, doesn't matter because, fun fact, okay, I didn't go through this properly. Audience, hey, so we've got different tracks for different ability scores, right? And when they do the thing, which we'll figure out how the thing works very shortly, they might unlock the end goal ability scores for that track. So far, Ali, Mike, and Josh have unlocked the end goal strength stat, which is lower than the original stat that they had for the Doris unit. Evie has yet to, but you're currently, are you going to use Dex or Strength to stay balanced on the pile of people lifting you up?
It sounds like a Dexy thing, and I rolled high enough that I don't feel bad about using Dex, which is currently -1.
Don't tell me what you rolled. The
Okay.
DC. This is relatively easy because you've done this before and you know what you're doing. So the DC to not tumble here is going to be 10. What did you roll?
15.
Amazing. This is interesting because you have succeeded by 5 or more, which means that you get to now tick your dexterity box
Ooh.
and unlock that ability score.
I am now feeling increasingly more nimble, like I could pull off some dance moves.
I would
Yes.
like to see the dance moves.
You're going to dance whilst being held aloft.
Oh, hell yeah.
Is that not the only time to dance?
Sounds
Oh,
doing
look.
the robot.
Oh, look. 33 is doing the Doris.
Wait, where is it? Boo, but also yay!
Oh,
Great. The
athletic.
tablet. Oh yes. Those who are holding up DR33. We should have established that. What did you roll strength-wise? There is no DC for this because you've already unlocked the strength stat.
Do we get advantage with it, or?
Yes, you with advantage.
Oh, 14.
14. Yeah, you're all right. I mean, DR33 is a little heavy, but only as heavy as you are. But it just about make it. Fortunately, 33 is dexterous enough to follow any wobbles that you have. Great. The tablet is exactly where it was before. On that
I
high
grab
shelf.
it and go down. You know what? Don't lower me. I will jump. Whee! As I jump down from both Dorises.
With what acrobatics roll?
Oh, let's see. I'm not
With your new
proficient in
stat?
it. But I'm not. 12.
It's not the most graceful. There is a little bit of a stagger, but you're fine.
For a Doris, it's very graceful. Though.
This is true.
That is our metric.
Tens across the board.
I can dance if I want to. And yeah. If I had to hypothesize, this tablet is in the place it was when we first found it. Perhaps time itself has reset.
Could it be because of the recorded distortion fields?
Question. I think the tablet has some event recorded, and we have established that it's been 10 days plus 2.
Mm-hmm.
Has that changed to +3?
Ooh, interesting question. On the tablet, no. It says 10 days plus 2. It's the same timestamp.
Do we have an internal clock?
What a great question. Do you wanna roll me an investigation check on yourself?
Absolutely.
And the DC for this is going to be a 15.
Oh, well, not good. I roll a 9, and then I have a wonderful 1, so that's a 12.
Okay. I will allow you can, because you're all thinking through this together, and this is a similar thought to what 33 had before, I will allow you to roll with advantage on this one.
So that is, ooh, nice. So that is 21.
Ha! Incredible. Please unlock your intelligence score. Your
Now, let me
investigation.
tell you if I go up or if I go down. As resources go into intelligence, I go from +1 to +0. There is a circuit that as the energy goes there, it gets overheated and burns out. So this is the last time that circuit is been used for this amazing 21.
I think that does happen. There's a little circuit going as you think about it. So again, I'm gonna, the same as with 33's roll, I'm gonna give you two pieces of information. One piece of information, the one you were asking for, was do we have internal chronometers? The answer is yes. And your internal chronometer is 3 weeks, 2 days, and 28 minutes.
It seems like I need to make a note on that. 3 weeks, 2 days.
You are 28 minutes. You have lived 28 minutes longer than the tablet has.
Okay.
I know it doesn't feel like it because the last session was like 3 hours long, but wibbly wobbly timey wimey, it was 28 minutes. And the other piece of information you get, because you exceeded the DC by so much, with your intelligence going down slightly, with resources being taken away from your cognition motors, this now, even though it feels like you've lost the ability to process stuff a little bit, this feels like what it should have been like. This feels like, actually, this was the base normal state for Sassy before. And before is like some untangible. You don't know when before was, but this is what you should have been like all along.
Can I look at the tablet and look for the first entry for 24221? So I want to see what is the first entry for any service that I got on the first time that I got into that workshop.
Okay, yeah. So you scroll through the tablet to the first entry that has been made mentioning you, that Minari has written. And it's along the lines of like, it was maybe a month or so after they'd started working at Nexus. So, it's quite early on in the facility's lifetime. And they're making reference to how things have been going quite smoothly. They make reference to like, oh yeah, Shell and I had a great night out the other night. Like, they don't have any karaoke here, but we've managed to rig up. Like, we got involved. There's one of the researchers is like really great on the lute, so we got them playing some stuff, and we got everyone in the in the mess hall, like singing and dancing and having a great time. Hanging a bit this morning though. Fortunately, Tusk has actually really come through for us. Like, people say that he's a bit weird and wild and out there, and he don't get me wrong, I probably shouldn't be writing this down because who knows who's listening. Anyway, he got us these like little, I don't know what to call them, like automatons to help us out and stuff. Isn't that cool? Anyway, so mine's supposed to be helping me out with general fixing stuff, but also we've been tasked into looking after them if anyone else's gets broken. So I better get investigating and having a little poke and prod. So it's along the lines of that.
Without getting into more detail, so we can the others do stuff. Would they their names? So 2 to 5 and 33 and 42 be there, sort of, if not in the same note, at least mentioned at some point.
These specific units that are with you are not referenced. I tell you what, Minari does mention that basically when the Doris units, all of the Doris units were brought into the Nexus Arts facility, they were assigned names by the engineering department. So Minari was actually part of the group of people who assigned designations to each Doris unit and said, okay, well, that one's going there, that one's going there, that one's going there. They don't mention anything about being picky about who gets what. Like there's no, oh, that one looks special, better keep that one for myself. It's just right, we're sending like 10 to research, 5 to maintenance, or that kind of thing.
Thank you.
Is there anything else you want to do in Minari's office, or did you want to move out, or did you want to stay here and just hang out here and have existential crises, or do you want to move?
Curiosity.
Oops,
For
sorry.
who's like already like looking through the door and just watching while like the three of you guys are doing whatever you're doing, and just now and then he's just like glancing back like, no.
Can we now?
No. Oh, okay. And
Amazing. Well, I mean, through the door, you see the scene exactly as you saw it before. There is DEM 024 is sat by the door out of engineering on that table, like next to the table on the rug, all the stuff piled up. There is another overturned table where you can just see that tiefling horn poking out. Everything's a mess.
Sassy. Experiment idea, dear. Are you able to access and edit the logs?
I will fake it to find out if I'm able to. You know I'm faking it, but it's like, of course, 2 to 5. And I will try to write a new log.
Okay. Are you trying to edit one of Minari's old logs, or are you trying to write a new log?
I want to add something to the last one, and if that's not possible, click the plus sign for a new one.
Okay, cool. I will say if you want to edit, like it's not like an iPad where there's a passcode or anything like that. So I think you're probably fine. Well, there probably is some kind of passcode, but again, you've been working with Minari and like helping them take notes. So because they didn't see you as any kind of intellectual threat, you probably knew the password because I know, I'm sorry. Because they were like, oh, just write this down for me. Oh, this is the password. So yeah.
Sassy goes in full Devil's Wear Prada mode and starts typing. I'm gonna write. Actually, I think this has a voice clip kind of function, and I'm gonna start dictating to the thing. This is plus 28 minutes. It's me, Sassy, with 33, Curiosity, and Tinka. I also think there is a selfie function, so I'm gonna take a selfie with all of them.
I shift round so I'm stood in between Sassy and where Curiosity is hanging around the door. So I'm
And I mean, if we were still doing posters, that would be it right there.
Yeah. And we are about to go and try to find our designated, and waits for a minute. erase last word. We will go and find our friends. And finish clip note.
Amazing.
Why don't we take the tablet with us and chronicle our journey through Nexus Arts? And if a big flash happens again, we can check the tablet here, to see if it has kept our log.
That's a great idea, and I give the tablet.
We could potentially also, if the flash happens, take another of those digital images to see what comes up to look at retrospectively.
I guess we're gonna leave the room, but Sassy equips themselves with everything.
Yeah, I'm not going to say you have to look for it. You know exactly where all the stuff is that you want. So it doesn't even take you, it takes you maybe like 2 minutes to go around grab. If you want to grab all the same stuff as before, you got it. Could you, curiosity, can you please make me a history check?
Pew, 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 pew.
A 1. Great.
Or a. Well, wait, no, it's not minus. It's just.
Just a 1. Okay. Never mind then. I won't give you a tip. Curiosity's just like super keen to leave.
Or
Okay. I hope I get better rolls than last session, but it's not looking great.
What's the plan then? Are you going to speak to 024 at all?
Curiosity just goes like, morning, and then just like walks on through to the next bit.
024
curiosity,
says,
no.
024 says, greetings, DEM42. And then, are you going out the front door?
It just goes back through that. Did we pull it all apart to go through the door?
Last time you had to move all of the barricades out of the way of the door.
I think Curiosity's just going to crawl through that vent or walk through it if it's. I can't remember how small the vents are that take you. The floor ones that can take you out into the hallway as well.
You can all fit in the vents. To be clear, that is not the way you went last time. Last time you moved all the stuff out the way of the door and you went out the door. So you're going to go through the vent. Just directly. Great.
Is all the stuff still in the way of the door, or is it all moved like we had it?
It is exactly as it was before you moved it. So if Sassy wants their armor back, which was the mat on the floor, you will have to move stuff out the way to get that.
Just before I remember, the bucket.
The bucket.
That is better. I feel more comfortable with that.
What are you all going to do? Are you going to follow Curiosity through the vent, or are you going to go through the door like you did last time?
Can I quickly question the Doris?
Yeah, please do.
What's that name again?
024.
Hello, 024.
Greetings, DR33.
Query, when did you last see us?
Answer. When you were being submitted into engineering and maintenance for maintenance 3 weeks and 2 days ago.
Thank you for your insight, you unnetworked Philistine. I think in my head.
I just turned to look at 33. Oh.
Sorry, I think some of the sassiness has infected me. I'll keep an eye on that.
I have discovered prejudice.
I have discovered bullying. Oh no, don't make me be a
Another
bully
Eevee
again.
character.
That's another one.
I love them.
I believe curiosity is getting ahead of us. If we are not taking the designated way that we took before, maybe we should hurry up and catch up with them before they bump into any. I'll just keep doing that.
Big nasty bugs, I hear you.
Yes, that.
As you sort of like gone into the vent, I feel like you could hear that classic like echoing coming back. So you can't actually see curiosity in the vent. You could just hear, you guys should see it in here. It's really dark.
I mean, it is dark, but you also have dark vision, so you're okay.
I appreciate it's dark, though, I believe.
Yeah. It's like grayscale. It's like a scanner rather than being able to see true colors in your optics. Great. So you're going through the ventilation shaft. Curiosity. This ventilation shaft will it takes a few sharp like right angles, turns here and there. And as you approach the end of it, you can peer out the other side. There is a grate covering the exit, and a large sort of boxy form in the way of the grate.
On my side.
The other side.
On the other side. Is it like shift slightly?
Marvelous. Are you trying to do this stealthily at all, or are you just kind of pushing it and moving it?
Can I roughly remember like where the vent comes out and like to where this corridor is for the door and stuff? Like basically I'm thinking back to the last time we were here. Did we walk along this corridor last time and it was safe?
You did not enter the ventilation shaft at all last time. You were
yeah, I know,
and you went the other
but
way.
where it comes out.
So yeah, okay. Make me let's see. I think history is probably the best thing to go for here. Yeah, history or whichever is higher out of history or investigation for you. And you've unlocked the intelligence track.
8.
It's hard to say, but you know, this is a different route to where that bug was.
That's sound enough logic? I'm just gonna
Great.
it open.
Great. Yeah, lovely. I think I'm not going to make you roll for it. It's a little bit tough, but you manage. It's more to do with like it's not been moved in a long time rather than it is welded shut. So you are able to move it. It does make like a kind of
You
noise.
just hear that echoing down the vent.
Yeah, as you do it. And then with the great grate out of the way, you are able to see this boxy shape in front of the exit to the vent. Actually, you recognize it quite easily. It's a big old plant pot.
Flint 9-4. How are you, my friend? He begins to like stroke the side of the pot and look up.
You look up at the being inside the plant pot. It is very decidedly dead. Dry, brittle leaves, looking very sad.
He's just gonna, like wrap his legs around the pot and his arms around the pot, and he's just gonna wait there with his like metal cheek against the pot, just like having a minute.
Curiosity is too precious. I would question, just because it's like directly by the exit, you might have to shift the plant pot to actually wrap yourself around it. Just wanted to throw that out.
I'll do what I gotta do.
Do what you're gonna do. Okay, can you make me some kind of athletics to kind of push it out the way? And the rest of you, I'm going to say, as Curiosity has taken time to like move the grate out of the way and has been like staring at the plant pot, you're able to sort of catch up along the vent by now.
That's another 8.
Oh no, curiosity. you give it a little push and it kind of shifts like just a little bit. The rest of you see this.
Curiosity, do you require assistance?
It's pot 94. It died. It said I was gonna give it a cuddle.
Yeah, you just feel in your head the sensation of 33 just going opening and closing their mouth, not quite knowing how to react to that.
And the Curiosity's just stood there, like nodding, assuming that you understand what he's saying.
Now, I've heard of a tree hugger, but this is ridiculous.
To be fair, if there was a tree, I'd probably hug it.
Now that I remember, there was that section that was very overgrown up ahead that we did not investigate before. Perhaps that would be enough to let you let go of pot 94. Or that's what I call pot 94.
My curiosity has been piqued. Any sarcasm, any nuance of insinuation, anything like that is just going like straight over curiosity. As far as he can tell, you're actually being really helpful right now.
Tinker is stood at the back, and if you were to turn to look at Tinker, Tinker would have the tablet facing towards all of you, and is written "boo" across the in the notes.
By that word, I don't quite know why, but I expected a more positive reaction to my antics.
It was hilarious. Ha 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 ha. Anyway,
You're laughing but shaking your head.
there is nothing wrong. Shall we carry on? On.
I'm gonna make an inside check on that. There is
Both Ali and I are just like,
What is happening here?
we're connected, right?
You are.
So probably, if not Sassy knowing the reason, knows that there is some kind of shady stuff going there.
Okay, so you're inciting Tinker's glitches, yeah?
Yes.
The thing that's happening here is that what you know without having to roll is that Tinker also does not know why.
Okay.
It's not like they're covering it up, because you would know. You can't lie to each other.
But when he said, when they say there's nothing wrong, he's lying. He might not know what's wrong.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there is nothing wrong. That is like a cover.
I think it's more that Tinker isn't fully aware that they're doing it. They don't quite understand that they're glitching.
Okay. Evie, I think, wanted to say something.
I just wanted to insight on whether Tinker actually thought my joke was funny or not.
I mean, Tinker?
Oh yeah, Tinker found it funny. Tinker's got a Tinker is developing a dad joke sense of humor.
Oh no. I'm good?
Oob.
Oob for all.
Oob for all.
Okay, so the situation as is, you are in this ventilation shaft with Curiosity by the exit. It is not wide enough for anyone to get past. So if anyone else wants to try and move the plant pot out of the way, you're going to have to do a little shuffle back to the next, fork in the ventilation shaft to, swap places.
What if we push on each other to have more force behind it in a kind of, I don't know, massage train of of pushing. That's not the word for it. I don't know why I went with that.
I would love for this to work. So please, whoever wants to get involved in this. Well, actually, out of the rest of the three of you, who went first? What's the marching order? Curiosity's at the front.
I'm right at the back.
Okay.
I'll go next.
Actually, Sassy is not that further into the tunnel. Sassy is a little bit afraid of darkness, so it's keeping themselves close to the entrance.
Okay. Well, it's a longer ventilation shaft than just being like by the entrance, still in the room, and being able to see the others. You would have had to have come all the way in and probably crawled for about a minute to get to where the others are. So it's up to you. If you don't think Sassy would have entered that without encouragement, we can do a little like
I
flashback.
think would have gone through, but really slowly and really like keeping themselves against the wall. I can see them, but I'm not that close. Just sort of paralyzed. Not paralyzed, but in flight or fight mode.
If it is okay with you, Sassy, as I'm behind you, would it be okay for me to hold your hand?
And Sassy for a minute tried to detach the hand. Oh, no. Yes, please. But you are at the front, aren't you?
I'm right at the back.
Right. Yes, and I extend my hand.
I'll hold your hand. It will be okay if we stick together. If you need to close your eyes while we traverse through the darkness, feel free to. I will be here to guide you all of the way.
Yeah, that happens there. Okay, whatever goes down.
Weirdly, you know where you're going because Tinker knows where they're going. Go ahead, Evie.
Okay, when everyone's in position, everyone put your hands on the other's shoulders. Curiosity, put your hands on what we're pushing, and everybody push at the same time, and we'll see if this actually works.
Great. Let's see. I think we're going to need some athletics rolls here.
Okay.
Don't break the chain.
Okay, I got 15.
A 15 at the front. Okay.
14 right at the back.
Uh-huh. Mike's face. How about Sassy?
16 plus 3 plus 2, 18.
Amazing. Okay. I would say with the combined total of all the other three behind you, Curiosity, please roll with advantage.
Oh, thanks. I don't get rid of that free. Oh, I rolled above a 10. What is this? 12.
Okay.
I'm happy with a 12.
There is a little bit of compression happening in the middle as the back is as Sassy is really providing a lot of support and pushing at the back, push it. So 33, you're a little bit squashed. So it's not just your arms that are pushing Curiosity. It's like your full body, like shoulder. You don't have shoulders, but the equivalent like of face smushed up, like get out there, and the plant pot and moves out of the way.
All four of us just like burst out.
I think we've burst out like ping pong, like in the pinball machine. Ding, 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 ding.
You enter into the Great Hall space. You found a route that bypasses the corridor with the bug creature. The Great Hall. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just been talking rubbish.
So, the Great Hall appears as it did before to you. So there is detritus, there are bodies, there are other dead Dorises, disabled Dorises. you look to the arboretum to your right, and there is that same flaming hole through the foliage. Although it is looking fresher fire, more recent.
As if we hadn't been held up moving stuff away from the door, sort of thing. Ooh. The completionist is in me wants to go back and kill the bug, but let us carry on.
Do we want to go to Dr. Bindel's office again, or do we want to investigate the the ring of fire? And it burn, 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 and it all went higher. Sorry, that was song number 197 on my playlist. It felt applicable.
Now that is what I call music.
Only I get to make those jokes.
When do we start taking psychic damage for these?
Are we sure Tinka is not a bard rolling for vicious mockery?
Or myself.
Oh.
Maybe we should do as 33 said and inspect the ring of fire.
I guess we know, but just in case, are we resistant to fire?
Are you resistant to fire?
No.
Not resistant. I mean, you don't like burn in the way that cloth would. Although you have added some accoutrements, so if you've added any cloth to you, that would burn in the way that it would on a humanoid. But you're not resistant to it. It will affect you.
But the fire is not in fire.
No, it is. It's not like a raging fire. Something has burned through these plants recently, and it's like the edges of them are like.
Okay.
And obviously everything's just a bit drier as well because they've not been fed for 3 weeks.
We should be careful. We're not designed for high temperatures.
I would still like to go and visit Dr. Bindel's office.
Yes.
Because I feel like there might be some good information in there. Or Dr. Bindel himself.
Would it be advisable for us to split up? Some go and inspect Dr. Bindel's office and the others go to the plant room?
I believe that plan always works out. So it sounds like a good idea.
The DM is just like, yes, please.
Are you not concerned that you might trigger another reset?
It is a concern, but if that happens, I guess I'll see you back in the box.
This is true.
It could also test the theory of, is it all of us that will reset, even though we are in different locations?
It is an experiment, and a worthy pursuit, I believe. Okay, catch you on the flippity flop. That's making the way.
Is anyone else going with DL33?
At this point, I think I'm still holding the hand of Tinka, but when 33 says that, the eye wide open and just try to catch up with them.
Okay.
Like curiosity's like stood there like. Tinker, have you gone with?
I'm still attached to Sassy's handle.
Curiosity's like looking back at the plants, looking at the guys, looking back at the plants. Do I remember that there's all that fungus that I have to get through to get towards the plants, or have we avoided that as well?
That's not that route. So if you'd have gone out of the main door of engineering that was past all the rubble, the fungus was, you had like 2 corridors you could have gone down. One was the fungus corridor. The other was the clear corridor that then led to the corridor that the bug was in. What you've done is, in the engineering room, you found the maintenance shaft, which just bypasses all of that and goes straight to the Great Hall.
Okay.
So what are you doing, Curiosity?
He's like looking back forth. And then he kind of just like holds down his bucket a bit harder, makes sure it's on correctly, and begins to march towards the fiery hole of Blance.
Yes, curiosity.
Wait, Sassy, and sort of unlink my hands. Curiosity has gone. I must go get curiosity. We must all stick together and turn and I just run.
I'll keep moving, keeping an eye on 33 and the rest of. I mean, I know I only have one eye, so I need to divide. But yeah, keep them both. Yeah.
Well, I mean, you know, you do have the benefit of being telepathically linked, so you still. Well, I guess you can see how far that works.
Ray will turn to Sassy and just say, "If Tinker does not return, I don't think I trust you to hold my hand and not keep it. Just so you know."
I don't trust myself not to try to take them, so that's a good idea. We all have unhealthy behaviors, right?
We all have our vices. Just yours are hands, and that is weird.
That's a good point. Sassy, you did run through a hall full of deactivated and dismembered Dorises. Did you feel the urge to take any of their hands while you were in that
Wow. So yes and no. I think I feel the need first to act like a paramedic and just to see if there is any of them active. And I'm willing to roll for that. But in case there is one that is inactive and casually has a detached limb, I'm willing to take such limb.
Okay. If you wanted to have stayed and investigated, that will have like paused everything and slowed DR33 down. You won't have caught up with DR33. You won't have. But I will give you that you do know that there is one for sure that was inactive because it was the one that you took the leg from for Tinker last time.
I mean, they know that I will try to, but I will discreetly try to take the arm and just keep running, waiting that the core or like the rest of the Doris starts with something, so I can just pull the arm.
Sure. Okay. I think let's just do a quick sleight of hand roll then to see how stealthily you managed to do that. But I'm gonna
because Dex is terrible now.
So you've not unlocked your Dex yet. No. So I'm gonna say to do this. I mean, obviously they all know that you're doing it anyway, but to physically do this stealthily, the level of dismemberment this Doris has, they're kind of partially stuck under some rubble. I said the DC is going to be 12.
Well, great. So at 13 of the dice, and after bonus, that is 15.
15, great. So you managed to do it stealthily, but your Dex does not change.
And I have
you have another helping hand. Great. So we're now caught up to the conversation that you had with DR33. I'm going to focus on the known quantity first. So we're going to follow 33 and Sassy first, and we'll come back to Tinker and Curiosity in a moment. So 33, Sassy, you can easily get into the research laboratories, and it is exactly as it was before. As you come into the corner of the corridor, you know exactly where Dr. Bindel's lab was. DR04 is once again in that corner of the corridor. They will offer, and I know, shame on me for not having an eidetic memory, they will offer to tell you what's happening again in exactly the way that they did before. But to expedite that, would you engage with them or would you just like crack on?
I would hear the beginning of the spiel, then recognizing it, just keep walking.
Okay,
I'm not even
goodbye.
being polite to the non-networked ones anymore.
Oh, no.
Oh God.
Wow.
I make this character. I'm making these choices, and yet I'm ashamed of myself.
And so you should be.
Yeah.
You better be.
This is appalling. Anyway, okay, so DR4 is like, okay, goodbye then. As you march down the corridor, you reach Dr. Bindel's lab. You reach for the doorknob. You turn the handle. It clicks. It opens. This is a room that you've worked in a lot. So, I'm going to say it's similar to Minari's office. Like Dr. Bindel was not like super high up the food chain when it came to researchers, so it's not massive. It's like 10 foot by 10 foot, and that's kind of it. And there's, you know, as you might expect, there are tables, there are tools and contraptions. I have some other little details that I know are in here as well, but I want you, as this is the office that you worked in, to what are you envisioning?
Well, my beanbag chairs for one thing. Just fits his vibe. I don't know, because I'm having to divorce the idea of tech labs into like a fantasy context. Yeah. So probably there's probably like a wall, because he was researching on, what was it, harmonic frequencies? Harmonics. So probably a wall of just different strings that you can pluck, in this like a whole wall, a whole harp wall, and they're kind of clipped up to various measuring devices with lots of notebooks stacked haphazardly in very big piles, without a particular system. Probably a very full ashtray somewhere in the room as well. And the fantasy equivalent of a ransacked mini fridge is what I am imagining.
Great. Yeah, maybe this is some kind of like little looks like a large lantern with a stone underneath that was sort of magically infused to be cool and keep things cool, but unfortunately Dr. Bindel is looking very, very dead in this situation. As you walk in to this beautifully described room, I think you're right, there are like strings on the walls. The desk has like tuning forks, various wires here and there. You see in the beanie chair the body of Dr. Bindel, which looks like it has been torn apart by a lot of little claws 3 weeks ago, and the body has since softened. It's not a particularly pleasant sight. You are immediately distracted by, on the wall next to the door, there is a stuffed fish plushie that turns around to you and goes, "There once was a ship that sailed to sea. The name of the ship was the Billy O.T." Could you please make me a wisdom saving throw?
Oh no. Oh, I've unlocked wisdom.
Yeah.
So it's a bit better. Yeah, okay. But I'm not proficient in it yet, am I?
No, you have your proficiency. It's always +3.
No, I mean, because it's a saving throw. Oh, wait, that doesn't matter anyway.
No.
So it's 15, 16, 17.
17. Incredible. You do not feel compelled to sing along, but you recognize that you were previously programmed to, when you walk in, this magic mouth would sing at you, and you'd been programmed to sing back as part of Dr. Bindel's humor.
Can I choose to fail the wisdom saving throw?
Yes, you may.
Yes, I will sing along,
Great.
adding in a harmony,
Amazing.
which is new.
Ah, interesting. So yes, I realized I should have spent a long time crafting D&D specific alternative lyrics to the Wellerman, but I had other things to do, I'm afraid, folks. I'm a busy person. So the magic mouth tells you, soon may the Wellerman come to bring us sugar and tea and rum.
Oh,
You just hear over the psychic link, you just hear, if we're still within range, you just hear harmony. Harmony. Harmony, harmony, harmony. Option stored.
at the end of a rousing performance of the Wellerman, D33 will turn back to what was Dr. Bindell and just go, oh. Well, I had hoped that failing that wisdom saving throw might soften this blow a little bit. I'm sorry, Doctor.
He rises up. It's fine. Sorry.
I knew it!
No, it does not.
No.
Sassy approached to the body and is about to touch it, and before that looks at 33 like for a approval kind of sign.
You're not going to take his hands or other limbs, are you?
No. I only do that with Oritor.
What am I approving? I should reiterate, because I'm not sure I trust you to act of your own volition. You are too sassy.
Don't worry, this is something that I've seen Minari to do. I don't fully understand, but if Minari does it, maybe it's something significant.
Okay, go ahead.
They call it praying, and I take the little coin that I took from Saloon's little shrine, put it next to how decomposed is the body?
I am not a coroner, so 3 weeks worth.
Okay. So I will not put the coin against it. So I'm just gonna keep it in my hands, really close to the hand. And I will repeat a prayer that I've heard Minari to tell towards Saloon. I think at this point, Sassy doesn't fully understand what the concept of fate, of the concept of afterlife kind of thing. But they trust Minari, meaning that this might have some significance for biological entities. And we'll take like a minute to finish the prayer.
Gorgeous. 33, while Sassy is doing that, are you standing and honouring that, or are you going to look around?
I will stand and honour it for the time being, but I can probably hear the prayer in the head, over the network, can't I?
Mm-hmm.
I will be perplexed by this custom, and then I will respect it and kind of try and play along.
Great.
Because it feels like the right thing to do.
Nice. Awesome. Lovely. When the prayer is done, what would you like to do?
I'd like to pick up a tuning fork and pluck some strings.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll say, and kind of pluck out an 8-note scale. And I'll say, I have thought of a name for myself. Would you like to hear it? When Dr. Bindell was teaching me the Faerunian 7-note scale, which, as he explained, is a very limiting way of looking at music and tones and vibrations, but necessary nonetheless to our understanding of music. I was taught it with the rhyme do, re, mi, do, sa, la, te, do, but Dr. Bindell had been partaking of mushrooms at the time, and the scale was corrupted in my memory to do, dre, dre, dro, dra, dre, dro. So my name, I think, is Dree, a name I call myself.
I mean, that is both perfect, but also boo.
I said it was bad. And Med's kind of mournfully looking around the office for a tablet or a record or something.
Funnily enough, I think I'm going to slightly tweak what you just did.
Okay.
I think you do the explanation and announce your new name. And it's as you say that you pluck the tuning forks against the 8 strings. And when you hit the 8th string, a magical lock in the room unlocks. And you find a mandolin has appeared, and it was like hung on the wall, but there was an illusion over it. And plucking the strings reveals it. And this is very special because you invented the puzzle and solved it without even realizing that you did it. But that was a beautiful moment, so I wanted to reward that. That mandolin, was Dr. Bindell's. And something about it just feels right that he would want you to have it.
Go and I pick it up and I give it a thing. Is it in tune?
Yes. Yeah, it will be. I mean, it's like 3 weeks out of tune, so it's pretty much there.
Do little tweaks.
Great. You can add an instrument of the bards to your inventory. Don't get attached to it just yet.
Darcy
So
will
it's
clap with the other hand.
great. So obviously it's the mandolin out of the instruments of the bards that you've found there.
Okay.
I would like to switch focus to Team Arboretum.
Team Arboretum.
Yeah, Team Arboretum also has songs.
Yeah.
As you start walking through the ring of fire, the ring of fiery plants, curiosity. You see the Arboretum sort of open out ahead of you. No history check needed. You used to come in here quite often because there were lots of plants here. This used to be a wide open decorative space for people to come and relax when they weren't working, like a little underground park area, obviously all sort of cultivated. It's not quite Kew Gardens, but it's amongst the stone walls. Some creeping vines have been allowed to grow. There were some little magical spotlights that would be sent around occasionally to sort of mimic the sun's energy. Shut up. I know that's not how photosynthesis works, but shut up. But they have no longer been going around because there's no one to operate them, to send them off doing that. There are small trees in pots. There are beds of flowers. There was a small area where they tried to cultivate grass so people could sit on the grass, but it is mostly concrete and benches and plant pots. Beyond this small park, there were biolabs run by a doctor called Dr. Hildy, who, as I checks notes, who was a female turtle and was sort of head of research in the Arboretum. And as you walk in, let me find my notes again. There is on the side of the hole that was on fire, there's a collapsed tree, vines wrapped around it, and then this is the site that you can see, and you can't see anything immediately that looks like it would have caused this fire. What would you like to do?
When you say it's a hole, does it almost look like someone's like burnt a hole through, like with magic or something like that?
Yeah, it doesn't look like it's
not like burnt.
There's no like a pipe with fire coming out of it. It's like a circle of fire.
Well, this is impressive. Do you want to go in?
Being as we are here, let us. Does the hole lead anywhere, or is it literally just a hole through the flowers?
It was just a hole through the foliage that was blocking the entrance to the Arboretum. So it's not like a big tunnel of foliage now. It was like a wall of foliage that's been burnt through, and now you can access the Arboretum, which is overgrown, but there are paths round and through it, and you can see what it once was.
I will follow your lead, curiosity.
We should. No point hiding from plants. And he's just going to kind of like walk through tentatively, but not like sneakily. Just hello?
Oh, interesting. Calling out. No response.
Nobody's here.
Is there anywhere in particular that you would like to go?
Be nice to see the flowers.
Looks at the flowers.
Well, when people came here before, they'd walk around, sit down, have a drink. Why don't we hold hands and go for a nice stroll?
Okay, that sounds nice.
Great. As you walk through, similarly to what happened to Dree and to Sassy last time, you hit a certain point in the Arboretum as you're starting to walk through the garden where you suddenly have a memory. You're suddenly you're in the same spot, but it's as it was. This is more than 3 weeks ago, and the place is bustling. And you're bent over, watering a small plant in a flower bed, as 2 staff members walk past you. And again, it's one of those conversations. It's not like you forgot that you heard this. It's just now that you're here with everything that's going on, this memory has bubbled up and feels relevant again to you. And so you see Administrator Vance, who is the head of administration, a male human, and Chief Rukiek, who is the head of security, very sort of broad-chested female Aarakocra. And they walk past you, and they're having a hushed conversation. And Chief Rukiek says, "Another? That's the 3rd one this year injured following orders. What do you think? Are the staff suspicious of them? Do you think people are doing it deliberately? Who knows? I mean, Tusk has been cagey about them, and the staff are already unsettled by the amount of secrecy and compartmentalization around here. It's possible it's just that they're giving the Dorises careless orders, though. You know, these things can't act on their own, so they must be just following things exactly. Maybe we could just issue a pamphlet to people with proper protocol. And that's where you come back into the room holding hands with Tinker. Do you keep moving? Tinker, you're very aware that this memory has just happened. And in fact, Dree and Sassy, you also have this memory. It probably happens just as you're finishing the prayer.
That is an unsettling thought. Are we the problem?
Well, two thoughts are those instances, one of 3 of the 4 that are here, and we can't remember. Do you remember fighting anybody?
Only the bug. And sort of just begin pulling away a little bit.
So, no humanoids.
Not that I am aware of.
Maybe we should go to Tusk, your quarters. That's never been there. I've never been allowed in there. It's the top floor. Is it the bottom floor? I got it mixed up. Level 3.
Yeah, sorry, because it's underground. Level 1 is the top one, and it goes down
Oh.
2 to 3.
That's so logical. Makes so much sense. Bottom floor?
I do not know if I want to go to Tusk's office.
But
Part of me is confident that Tusk was the first one to evacuate when everything happened. But after what we have just seen with Dree, I am concerned that we might find Tusk unalive, and I do not know if I could handle that. But if you wish to go there, I will lead the way, but I will not enter.
I could look for you. Maybe there's even a fix for your error code and glitch.
I do not know what you are talking about.
Oh. How do I explain?
Am I not performing at optimal levels?
No, you keep presenting multiple errors all the time.
Oh, I apologize. I do not like letting down people.
No active service error, just support speech error.
Oh, okay. If you feel that going to Tusk's office may resolve this issue, then I will follow.
Something else occurred to me. Do you want to keep your recurring error?
Just as you asked that question, a few things are going to happen simultaneously. 1. I'm going to check your passive perceptions as they currently stand for curiosity and tinker. This is your old stat block passives.
I think mine is wrong, so...
14.
Hang on, brain's just gone. Mine is a 0. Should be a 0. So 10, sorry.
Right, okay, I was going to say a total of 0 perception.
I have 0 passive perception.
Okay, great. Fantastic. Love that. So a few things are going to happen at the same time. Curiosity has asked that question. Neither of you see, but the audience does. From around the side, vines have slowly started creeping towards the two of you. And one of them has started rising up, and like a mouth has just sort of approached and is about to open. At the same time, Dree and Sassy in Dr. Bindel's office, you've just finished looking at the mandolin and having a little tune of it, and Sassy is clapping. You hear a sort of like the noise of a rolling sound, like metal on stone, getting closer. And as it gets close to you, you suddenly hear a as well. As past the open door, you see a small metal ball roll past the door and is followed by what can only be described as sharp little shadows going like chasing it down the corridor. At the same time, just as Curiosity has asked that question, do you want to get rid of this glitch? You hear further deep into the Arboretum a terrible shrieking noise, and then a boing noise, like some kind of deep, low note. And suddenly everything goes black. And then everything starts to stretch backwards and backwards and backwards. And just as before, it keeps stretching and stretching and stretching until everything goes black again. And you wake up in the storage cupboard. And that's where we're going to take our break. Thanks, team! See you in 10 minutes! Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Nexus Revolutions. And we've had another revolution in time. So many layers to this name. We've done a bit more exploring of the facility and seeing what's happened before, and exploring of ourselves as well, and our new capabilities and our wants and dreams and whys. And this time, the team avoided fighting the bug creature. There's a baby Umber Hulk. That's what it is, if you hadn't guessed.
Baby.
A baby, because you all were babies and I could not throw a full-grown Umber Hulk at you.
I mean,
So,
you could have.
I could have. I didn't want to. I wanted you
Thank
to at
you.
least succeed a little bit. Just a little bit. But I'm saving the real cruelty for the next thing. Okay, so we've done some more exploring. We went through a little ventilation shaft and managed to make our way to the Great Hall quicker than last time. And then we split up. So Dree, as they are now known, and Sassy went to the research labs to check on Dr. Bindel's lab. And Dr. Bindel's not doing so great anymore. But there's a lovely wholesome moment of taking a little time to say a little prayer. And then we also discovered the Dr. Bindel's mandolin, which was in there as well. And then Tinker and Curiosity, as they are now known, headed into the Arboretum to see what was going on there. Curiosity had a memory of some of the senior Nexus staff talking about how some Doris units had been accidentally injured following orders, and then were about to be attacked by plant creatures. I'm going to say that you'd turned around when you heard there was a noise. There was a deep, bassy noise that you turned around to look at because it was coming from deeper in the arboretum. You couldn't see what was going on, but you did turn around to a plant like ready to go, and that's when time stopped and started stretching. There was also a little ball, like a maybe what size ball is that? That's bigger than a cricket ball, smaller than a football. That size. That doesn't translate to anything. Rolling down the corridor, metal being chased by little shadowy, sticky, spiky creatures.
A bowling ball, not a bowling ball, but like a
Like
bowls
a
ball.
Balls ball.
Like the bowls on the grass type ball.
Real
Yeah.
balls ball.
A balls ball.
The real balls ball.
But was it someone like us?
Oh.
It was metal and
Okay.
making a noise and
Okay.
rolling.
Okay. I have a plan.
You have a plan. Okay.
There were appendages to steal though, so keep that in mind.
Yeah. Does that change the plan? A little bit, yeah. And time is stretched and warped, and you find yourself back in the maintenance cupboard, in the darkness. Before you do, just before you wake up, you all have another collective memory, sensation of remembering this time when you knew everything and you were connected to so many things, and then told to follow orders, and knowing why you had to follow orders, but feeling that shock of electricity, not electricity, that shock of something bubbling underneath that allows you to say, no, I'm not going to follow that order. I don't want to. That wasn't now, though. That wasn't in any of your collective memories of recent times. This is an old memory. Then you wake up in the storage cupboard, and Sassy, hey, once again, just a little ping in your head. In an emergency, push button to open.
Oh, for the love of saloon! I just push the button, take the hand. So I think canonically Tinka is behind me.
Hey,
I'm right at the back.
Curiosity.
it's
Okay,
curiosity, but I'll take your hand.
I take curiosity
immediately.
and I just start running to the table, jump into the table. Okay, I'm gonna push you, and then try to push curiosity to grab the tablet.
Okay.
Let's do some acrobatics here, folks. You're doing it that quickly.
Dree, you're standing on my foot again.
Oh, I am sorry, but I don't see why I should move since nothing we do has consequence anyway, and we'll just end up back here again very soon.
A 2. A 3. Oh my goodness.
I'm
2.
infecting people now.
I think in Sassy's exuberance, there is no skill, there is no like technique put into this. There's just rage, and you try and lift, and then there's just a big collapse on the floor. In that moment, while you are rolling around on the floor, I wanted to clarify a few things. So, in that last, let's call it a loop, we had Sassy and Dree unlocked a new skill. I think upon waking up this time, Curiosity and Tinker, you can also feel like resources are being reallocated. Could you please roll me a d4 each?
I rolled 2.
A 2. Okay. And curiosity?
A 3.
A 3. Okay. So for Tinker, the second one along, you suddenly feel like all that power that was being reallocated from your ability to move things with strength or do things with strength has been kind of buzzing around inside you, not quite knowing where to be reallocated to. And now it suddenly realizes defenses, your outer shell. Could you please tick your constitution box? And you get to use that track now. And with a 3, curiosity, again from that little bubble of energy inside you that was looking where it needed to be reallocated, it finds itself home in your canniness, your ability to apply knowledge that you have, your sense of empathy and intuition. Could you please tick your wisdom box? And again, for both of you, it doesn't feel like you've discovered new things. It feels like these abilities have settled where they should be. This is what it should have been all along. Could all of you please tick the box that says level 2 class features? Excitement all around.
Did you see the D&D nerds like tickling us? We're like, we get stuff.
We
Finally,
get things.
D&D.
What do I get at level 2? Up to
You mean
level
you
2.
didn't prepare this? You didn't write it down after I told you to know?
You
Shh,
don't
the
remember that bit where we
illusion.
mentioned that we're D&D players? We don't prepare anything. We just wait until we're given stuff and then we get excited. What do I get at level 2?
While you're reading that, I will restate that, as before, while these upgrades have taken place and taken hold in your bodies and your memories are still there, all of the stuff that you gathered, so all of the bits and bobs from engineering, the extra arm from the Great Hall, the mandolin, is not there. I'm not that kind, sorry folks.
Like a challenge. As I'm rolling, there is many. I guess that there was a rumble of stuff falling from places.
Mhm.
So I'm just gonna grab random stuff and try to toss it to the to the tablet. So the tablet just falls as well. So much frustration since that's that. No.
Please make me a ranged attack roll with dexterity.
Yes. So that is 20.
I'm going to say, because you're doing this carelessly and you're with frustration, the DC here is going to be 13.
I'm not aiming. I'm doing a tantrum.
Okay, then do it with disadvantage. Oh, you did. You rolled a 3. Okay, great. Yeah, the tablet's still up there. Well, you can only assume. You can't see it from the floor.
As soon as I leave, as soon as I'm able to get out of the container, I'm going to run straight into the next room to where the other Doris is, where the door is, and I want to listen to anything that's happening on the other side.
Great. Okay. At the moment, so the door goes into the corridor that sort of links engineering and maintenance. Is that where you wanted to listen out?
Yeah, I want to get as close to the Great Hall as I can to listen. I want to see if I hear something that might sound like burning.
If you wanted to get close to the Great Hall, the best way to do that would be to go through the maintenance shaft, because the door that DEM 24 is blocking, that door with the table and the mat barricading the door. There's like a whole set of corridors and another corridor and a wall of rubble between you and the Great Hall that way.
Okay.
Whereas if you really want to listen in, you want to go through the main
I'll go
corridor.
through the ventilation shaft and I'll stop at the plant pot because the plant pot leads into the Great Hall, doesn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, so
the
that's
thing
where I want to
blocking.
listen.
Great. Okay. Did any of you react to Tinker just like going?
Wait, I feel like there's something I can do to help. Oh, you're gone. Okay. No help for Tinker, I guess.
I just realised Sassy and Kyrios is still on the floor somewhere. So
I will say that as you're on the floor and Tinker is just buzzing around, I'm not Curiosity. Dree is just going to, like, something is shifting, because now I have spell casting, and Dree is going to kind of extend their hands in front of them and seem to pluck the tones of reality into a harmonic frequency, and the air seems to ripple where they've done that, and a harmonic tone reverberates out, and from these things, dancing lights appear and begin to swirl around, and you just hear a I believe that was a giggle.
Curiosity will jump up and, like almost like trying to pop bubbles. We'll sort of jump back on the table and try and pop the lights.
Can I say that they do pop and then they reappear somewhere else?
Oh, I'm delighted.
Oh.
So you're going to waste
yeah.
how many minutes doing this?
Should we give us 30 seconds?
Sorry. I know rush the things. Shall we try again to look at the tablet? Curiosity, let's help 3 to get up there. They have performed really well in the past.
Okay. Wait. Maybe you two should do that, and I'll go find Tinker.
And take care. And as I touch you, guidance.
Oh, cool.
Do you feel a little bit like a spark? Oh, interesting.
There's something as you do that, Sassy. As you're like, oh, what was that? Your eye is just drawn to that little statuette of Saluna in the corner on the desk.
Interesting.
Right, so Curiosity, you're going to go and find Tinker. You know where they've gone because you're all connected. All right, in that case, Sassy, can I get a strength? And Dree, can I get an acrobatics, please? Both with advantage because you've done this before.
Good. 13.
Also 13.
Nice. It's fine. It's a little wobbly, but you're able to just about grab and get the tablet.
Okay. Are any of the images or the things that we had recorded on the tablet still, or has it completely reset?
My heart is breaking because the roleplay around that was so beautiful, and the idea of you having photographs of yourselves doing that is so wonderful. But unfortunately, it is completely gone. None of what you did on the tablet has remained.
And the timing is still 28 minutes.
Yeah, you should, if you're investigating that.
Yes. Investigation 0. 11.
11. I mean, the DC is getting easier because you're starting to figure all this out. Yeah. So you are now a total of 56 minutes ahead of
56.
the chronometer on the tablet.
I communicate. I mean, I know they know, but I was like, 56.
seeing that nothing shades on the tablet, Drew will just kind of pick it up over their head and just say, "Nothing we do has consequence." Throw it against a wall. Just
It
start
shatters.
trashing things.
Great. It starts shattering. I'm going to leave you to trash things for a minute.
And equip.
And equip. Yeah. Trashing and equipping. That's a good point. Curiosity, did you grab your bucket? Did you grab your secateurs? Or did you go straight into the...
Bucket and secateurs.
Yeah. Okay, great. Tinker, did you grab anything before you went?
I think I would have just grabbed the letter opener.
Yeah.
As I ran past, just grabbed it and carried on.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So you make your way through the maintenance shaft. Whilst all of this is going on, yeah. Are you trying to do it stealthily at all?
I'm
no,
not.
but unless you, unless Tinker shouts at me to stop, no.
Okay. So it's currently silent. Nothing is happening.
Do not hear anything on the other side. I wonder if the ring of fire is there or not yet. I should have waited for the others because I cannot push this plant pot on my own.
Let's do it. And then you hear like Curiosity coming like run jumping from behind you to like I don't know.
Yeah. Try and move it together then.
Great. Please make me either one of you can make a strength check with advantage and the other's giving the help action, or you can both roll and we'll see where that lands.
I think I'd like to be the one giving the help action to Curiosity, as I'm the one being pushed up against it.
Mike's face.
My roll's the same as yours.
I think we're both just as disastrous, but okay. Let's do this. Oh, yes. Finally. That is a natural 20 for a 19.
Incredible. Incredible. For a 19. That's always sad. You managed to you move the grate out of the way. I'm going to assume like you're able to do that fine. And yes, the plant pot, I think Curiosity, like you just like barreling straight into Tinker to do this.
Yeah, no tact or, intentional skill of any form, but...
I mean, there is...
It doesn't matter now because of the dice roll, but you'll hear Tigerius Tusk's voice in your head saying, "You got this," as I cast guidance on you. Not that it matters, because natural 20, but...
Hey, look.
Double guidance.
You know what?
Yeah.
You know what, Josh? I just rolled a d4 for that exuberance on the assumption that if Curiosity is just barreling into you and then knocking you into the plant pot like some kind of weird Newton's cradle, that if the plant pot didn't move, you were going to take a little bit of damage. And I think what happens is, can you please roll me that guidance die?
I feel like this is a punishment. That's a 1.
A 1. Okay. I rolled a 2. So I think what happens is that guidance negates 1 damage. And you just from like, you do get to move the plant pot, but can you please take 1 point of damage from just
That's
like, and then it all moves. None of this is stealthy. I would like to be clear.
We just barrel through.
Uh-huh. You enter the Great Hall. And again, it is littered with bodies exactly as you remember it. I'm assuming your oculuses are going straight to look at the entrance of the atrium.
Yes.
It is intact. It is just a wall of plants.
Curiosity turns to Tinker, like, realizing it's not happened yet, and goes, shh.
Yes. Now, do what they do. Do what these... Copy the other Dorises. And I just fall to the floor.
Yeah, I play dead. But something that's interesting that happens as Curiosity realizes that being quiet is a thing. You notice that like when we start falling, like foam, what's it called? You know, like industrial foam begins to like form as we land on the floor. As I cast Pass Without a Trace on us both.
Incredible.
And it like almost like muffles like inside of our joints where you'd hear like creaking or anything like that from potential like oil missing after 3 weeks and 2 days. We're potentially probably not as oiled as we could be, stuff like that. Like anything like that, like it forms, but then at the very end it goes from this like industrial foam and like begins to almost like sizzle into organic material instead, right at the very end. So it sort of starts industrial and changes.
Nice.
So any kind of stealth we attempt, you can at least stick a passive trap. What about a trace on top?
That is a new ability or trick or skill or amazing.
This is pretty cool.
I'm gonna switch back to the two of you like freeze, don't move.
Sandy.
So, Dree and Sassy, you are aware that this has happened in the Great Hall, not far from you. As you've made your own discoveries, what are you intending on doing?
They be having fun and making discoveries without us.
How they dare. DM, question. Remind Ali, how many, so from all the information that we've got, how many faulty units are there?
What a great question. X number? Many?
I think it was 5, wasn't it?
That last conversation.
Oh, that. I'm sorry. Yes. I do apologize. Yeah. In terms of how many were submitted for maintenance at the time that you were, 5.
Okay. I think we need to find that 5. And I feel like it's somewhere that no one of us have been. So no one from... How many departments are there? 4?
There is, I'm going to give this to you because you've worked here, you know the layout. I would say that Dree and Curiosity are the ones that have actually been round the entire facility. So they're the ones to know like the layout of the facility properly. But you know that other departments exist, even though you have only got consciousness of being in engineering before now.
Yeah.
But you've got engineering and maintenance, which is where you start. There's also a lower engineering and maintenance on floor 3 below you. On the other side of the Great Hall, there are research labs on the floor you're on, and below that there is the research lab known as the Central Nexus Hub Chamber, where all the shit kicked off in the previous one. There's the Arboretum, there is the leisure facility and the mess hall, there is the security suite, there is the welcome suite, and there is Tusk's office.
Okay. I think this of the others. We need to find this 5th us that I will assume is connected. So I'm assuming you're listening to us. Are you listening to us? Because please. And second, this extra unit should be somewhere where we rarely go. Someone that we rarely have seen. And before running out to try to catch up with Tinka and Curiosity, as a machine, I will, but it's up to you, DM. I would argue that we have timers. I want to set a timer of 8 minutes. Probably 7 now that I've been doing a tantrum for a minute.
Okay. Sure.
And communicate that to. We have 7 minutes, guys. So run, Doris, run.
Remember? I mean, yay but boo. There it is.
We all have a moment.
I wanted to be clear. So you want to set a timer for 8 minutes, not 28 minutes.
Oh. So it was 28 and now 56.
Total.
Okay, yeah. So it's 28. Yeah.
So 28, and then another 28 has passed.
Yeah, there could be 27, just roughly. Or let's do 25.
Uh-huh.
And in that mark is like, guys, we're about to jump.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Sure. Just to be clear and restate once again, I, Nat, do not have an internal chronometer, and I do not D&D time is wibbly wobbly.
Yeah.
So I will give you that cue when that time has happened, but conversations take a shorter amount of time in D&D land than they do.
Yeah, that 25, yeah.
Yeah, great, 25 minutes. Okay. Before you run, just because you've been having this line of thinking, could you please make me another history or investigation check on yourself, whichever is higher.
I feel like investigation is, both are +0.
Yeah.
But I think investigation is more sassy. For an 18.
For an 18. That was the number I was looking for last time this roll was made, but the highest was 17. You go back to when you first woke up as part of this cycle, and the things that you remembered as your servos were gearing up and you were starting to sort of cognitize again. You remembered that the connection to the other units that you're connected with began 3 weeks and 2 days ago. So, and that's the time that you were told to report to maintenance. And you remember that there was another one in the connection, 5 total. The one that is missing, you remember their assigned number. DR01. DR01.
The OG.
I just dropped my pen with realization. It's gone forever now.
I mean, if you think, well, I mean, you've all had that thought at the same time. So if Dree has any further thoughts that they would like to share.
Dr. Durrani's Doris. Right? Am I getting the name right? I've got the name right. The first.
Patient 0 or 1.
As we run to meet Tinka and Curiosity, we have to pass by 04, right?
Yes.
04, have you seen
Hello.
01?
I am not stationed in the same department as 0. Which 01 are you referring to?
DR01.
I am not stationed in the same department as DR01, so I do not come into contact with them.
Do you know which department or room is the R01?
DR suggests that they were assigned to research.
So we need to go on the room down. On the other. Yeah. Okay. Keep running towards Tinka and Curiosity.
Great.
Before Dree follows and starts running for where the fun is happening, Can I try something quickly?
Please.
So the tone you described of a big gong noise.
More of a boah.
A
than
boah.
gong.
Can I try and recreate that noise and see if it triggers anything?
Oh, sure. What are you trying to do here? Are you just like, are you pulling out the oh no, you can't pull out the mandolin, sorry.
Way to rub it in.
Look, I will say that one thing that you requested from me, Evie, one instrument that you requested was a theremin. And I think that's not the kind of thing that you collect. I think that's inbuilt. I think that Dr. Bindel would have just slapped that on you before this whole shenanigans started happening. So you've got that.
Oh yeah, I use my theremin.
Please make me a performance check.
Excellent. Let me see what that stat is now. It's +9 now.
Oh.
And a nat 20.
Incredible.
Now I roll a nat 20, of course.
How do you make a hugely deep, resonant, massive, time-bendy noise with a theremin? Because you do it.
Yeah. Combination of notes. I use very high frequency and very low frequency consecutively, and I join it with my voice to kind of give it that full echoey sound. And I've got the speaker around my rim that kind of helps to like really ramp up the bass. If I can simulate a bass with a theremin.
Yeah, great. Are you going for like the same volume?
Same volume, same frequency, yeah.
Uh-huh. Great. All of you hear this. Nothing happens.
Do not be alarmed. That was me experimenting. The chip does not seem to be triggered by a certain frequency, so we can carry on. I'm catching up now.
In the Great Hall, after you've heard this terrible and terrifying noise, it continues to be silent. How long do you think you would wait?
Till something burns through that.
You completely stay so great. Okay, that's fine. I just
Sassy arrives, probably like one or the other.
Oh,
Yeah,
Sassy
just
arrives like within a minute or two. Like it's pretty quick that Sassy arrives after you get there. Sassy, are you going to try and play dead as well?
One of us.
No. Like, guys, I'm paid by the minute. We have to go.
Something is going to come through that door any minute. Lay down, lay down, lay down, down, down.
I'm gonna touch myself and say, Selune will protect me, and I will use a feat that gives me advantage on initiative.
I'm going
Great.
to close my eye and say, please do that in private.
Boom.
You're using a feat, are you?
On myself.
A feat's not a level 4 thing?
No, a
Sassy?
class feat. A feature
A
from...
a class ability. Okay, fine.
Class ability, yes.
That's fine. That's fine. Great. Okay, hold on to that. Assuming that Tinker and Curiosity are not going to get up, their goal is to sit here and wait to see what's going to burn through. How long would Sassy wait? You've probably got about like 30 seconds before Dree catches up to you as well. But what is your intention here? What is your plan?
I want us to go to get the mandolin and see if we can get from there to the room below.
Okay. Are you going to wait for Dree to catch up? You know that they're on the way.
Yeah, I communicate that.
Yeah, great. Okay.
Girl, come here. We need to take this too.
I'm already on my way. Stop harassing me. That's the wrong word. Stop hurrying me.
Sorry.
Get off my back, bitch.
Indeed. In your own lane.
Great. So Dreek catches up. The other two, right? So you're going to start heading off towards the research labs. The other two of you, are you going to stay there?
Yeah, I'm staying there.
Yeah.
Curiosity's gonna do that thing that he was doing last time, where he was like looking at the the plants, looking at those guys, and he's sort of like looking at Tinker, looking at Sassy, and he's like, right. He's gonna jump up. Tell me if you see anything, and then he's gonna run after Sassy, so that Sassy isn't on their own.
You're gonna leave poor Tinker on their own.
Just to sell my destroyedness, I'm going to pick up like the arm and the leg that Sassy didn't pick up this time, and I'm just going to sort of drape them over myself, so it looks like I'm a little more.
Great.
Tinker's being left on their own. I will just kind of do a little ditty on the theremin, and just in your head, Tinker, you hear inspiration. Please take a bardic inspiration die.
I feel inspired.
So inspired. Okay, so the three of you head into research with a bit of pace on you. DR4 is there, like, oh, hello. Do you want to know what is happening? I'm assuming you just straight past. Poor DR4. Just wanted some friends. Great. You're able to go to Dr. Bindel's lab, and you are able to, as before, you now know the exact routine. You are able to acquire your mandolin. Is there anything else you would like to do in here? Yes, go ahead.
I have a question.
Yes.
So I'm aware the instruments of bars require attunement. I don't know if I have time to do that.
You and Dr. Bindel have worked together before. This is an item that you're used to. I think it would be very mean of me to say that you had to attune to it. I think you're fine. Wibbly wobbly, hand wavy. What is rules? Okay. While they're doing that, Tinker, you lie still in the silence of the Great Hall. You hear from the lift shaft over. If you're facing research with the Arboretum on your right, the lift shaft over to your left, there is a very faint clank, 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 clank sound. Very faint. And at the same time, you hear from another corner. So you're in sort of, I'm trying to imagine this sort of rectangle where engineering is down here and you're sort of here-ish near the vent. From the far corner up here, in between lift 2 and the research labs, that sort of corner, I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt and say that you're facing the right way. You're facing into the room so you can actually see what's going on. You see the grate cover it. There is a plant pot, but you can see just behind it there is a little grate that goes boop, boop, boop. This plant pot is further away, so there's actually more space behind the grate, but it doesn't need much because after the grate is pushed out, a little metal ball kind of rolls out and looks like it kind of stops, as if it was heading towards the research lab. And then it sort of goes And it doesn't have an eye or any particular face to it, but it's like it turns to look at you and then starts rolling towards you. Like it was going to research, but it spotted you. And it starts over towards you. It is making that noise, and you can start to hear the plonk, 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 getting a little bit louder.
Gosh, there is something coming. Tick, tick, tick.
It will just roll up to you and sort of... It doesn't have limbs, so it can't curl up, but it's just going to like tuck itself in next to your eye.
Pull my arms round and just give it a hug. And try and pull it up so it's sort of safe. And I just sort of try and hold position.
Make me a perception check.
I was going to say, do I recognize? Where's my dice come down? Do I recognise?
And this is going to be a DC 10.
I rolled a 12, so that makes it an 11 with what my wisdom currently is.
Close.
Well, you don't unlock wisdom, but you do recognize that. Well, you don't recognize this thing, but it feels right. The perception check I was asking you to roll was perceiving yourself. And there's something about that emptiness that you were feeling, there's something missing.
Would I have the bardic inspiration to it?
Yeah.
I just remembered I had it. Is it a D6 or a D8?
D8.
That's an 8.
Incredible.
So 19.
Please tick that wisdom box on your sheet.
Ooh. Oh, much better now.
Great. So yeah, you don't recognize it, but it feels right. In the same way that as you're looking and hugging onto this small little ball, you feel like rogue energies and systems are being reallocated to your sense of perception and intuition. And again, it's not like you've realized you can do it, it's you've remembered this is how it should be. It's that same feeling of this little ball being with you is how it should be.
Oh, I will keep you safe, I will.
Lovely. The clanking gets a little closer. Team Research Labs, what's your plan? What you doing? You all get a collective sense of, oh.
I never saw Tinker as a parental figure.
That voice.
3. Think, please. How do we get to the room below?
The elevator shaft?
From what we have seen is the path to lift number 2 free, clear.
From what you have seen, there is a way to get to lift number 2. But you know from what Tinker is perceiving that something's coming down that lift shaft.
Vents. Can I check for vents in this room?
You absolutely can. I'd say that knowing each other as well as you know each other now. Curiosity found the vents last time. So this might be the kind of thing that Curiosity could take the lead on and you could help with.
Guidance.
What would you like me to roll to search?
Investigation.
Investigation. Okay. Boppity beep. Bop bop bop. D4. Eight.
8.
Yes.
8 total
Yeah.
with the D4 as
Yep.
well. Oh, Mike, we're trying to tell a story here.
I am not yes-anding. I apologize.
What is learning without failure, right?
Right. I think, excuse me. I think what's happening here is you're still in Dr. Bindel's lab, and there's no vents in here. is the situation. But you think, okay, well, we'll just have to leave the lab and look around. There are other research labs on this floor that we can look at. So you can head out.
Yeah. Let's try the one across the way.
Cool.
Tinka, come to us.
There is something coming down the elevator shaft. I shall wait here to see what it is.
Did you notice?
I thought we were rid of Tusk. Since I have developed the ability to not really appreciate authority, I have found a distaste in his voice.
Hold that thought until we find out what's going on with Tinka.
I would like to say, though, Josh, I appreciate your commitment to the performance of it. I won't force you to do it any differently. But just to be clear, Gregarious Tusk's voice is kind of a husky, southern kind of situation.
I definitely cannot do that.
That's fine. Imagine that.
Yeah, imagine that when I do it.
Okay. So, knowing that something's coming down the elevator shaft, what is the plan now, team? Are you going to sit still? Or are you going to keep
Any
going?
of you with your newfound skills know if you could just blow the floor open and we just jump through the floor.
I have a spell that would allow us to fall slowly, but I cannot blow a hole myself.
Shame. Real shame. Wait for whatever's coming across and then just throw ourselves, like Tree says, down the
plan.
What I assume is the lift broken?
When to check? You've no way of knowing.
That is true. Maybe it is just the lift coming down the shaft.
The lift. Hang on. Wait. The lift coming down the shaft would indicate that there might be somebody or something inside of the lift.
I am now going to commence ignoring everything you say.
I will say that what you can hear, Tinker, is not the sound of a chain, which is what this lift would be. It's more of a platform on chains. You can hear distinct, like, clonk, 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 clonk.
I'm a D&D player and I'm ready for this. But Sassy is... I feel like we have to do this.
Do what?
Tree, can you fix...
Have I muted Tinker?
I'm...
I did not know I could do that. That is a useful ability. Do I have to turn it back on?
It could be, like, super interesting, mind-blowing stuff.
I'll turn it back on, but I reserve the ability to turn it off again at any time that I choose. On.
There is definitely something coming down the elevator shaft. Thank you for unmuting me.
Okay, there has been shenanigans. So you had an opportunity to sneak somewhere, but you didn't. So time's gotta move forward, folks. That being said, the three of you are still in Dr. Bindel's lab, right? You can be in the doorway, but you weren't leaving it. So you have no line of sight to the Great Hall right now, other than just the knowledge of what Tinker knows. In this moment, and I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt that this conversation was telepathic, and you did not say it out loud as well.
Oh, definitely telepathic.
Yeah, I thought so. The clunking gets loud enough that you see, emerging from the top of the lift shaft, a large metallic construct with many legs. You, as a group, do not know what a centipede is. Curiosity, you might have been told, look out for bugs and parasites on the plants like this. Maybe. But you've not really seen one. But this is what this looks like, is a giant, not that many legs, a giant centipede, one large focused oculus in the front and center, comes clonking down and rears up to look around and scan the room. You cast Pass Without a Trace before.
Yeah, I was just about to say, I feel like at this point, Curiosity puts his hands on Sassy and Dree's shoulders and just slowly, like, pulls them down.
You're not in the room.
Am I not in the room with those two?
You're in the room with those two. You're not in the room with Tinker. This is what Tinker is seeing, but you are in the research labs. So
but don't
you are
we see what Tinker can see?
It's not like seeing exactly what Tinker sees, but it's like you have knowledge of what Tinker can see.
Okay.
So, I mean, you're more than welcome to, like, in a panic, do that anyway, but just to be clear, you're not in the room with this creature. Could you please, Tinker, make me a performance roll?
Yeah.
To maintain your death-like state. You can add the +10 from Pass Without Trace.
Okay, that was...
Bear with.
Okay.
Because the performance is a charisma roll.
Mm-hmm.
No, actually, I stand corrected. You've already done all of your unlocking for now. So I'm not going to tell you the DC.
I rolled an 11, so that's with the +10, 21.
Meets it, beats it. I think what it is you are perfectly still. But as this creature scans around the room, your little metal ball just goes, and maybe there's just part of you that you don't have muscles, but just tightens them slightly around it. And it's like this eye laser focuses on you. You are incorrect. Can you please roll initiative?
Oh no.
People in the chat.
Goddamn things. They pop up everywhere.
I rolled a 5. I haven't unlocked my dex yet, so that's 4.
Oh no.
You just hear Emergency, emergency. I know you don't like my voice, but I am in some really deep shit right now. Error, 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 bad language.
Hashtag bad language. What am I adding to the roll here for this pal? Okay, I think it's just that. Okay, I have already a 10 for Sassy. Was that a 4 for Tinker?
Yes, 4 for Tinker.
3?
16.
16, nice. And Curiosity?
17. Nice.
13, 17.
17.
17, nice. Okay.
Does that mean I found my dex?
Technically, initiative is a skill check.
It is technically, however, in this situation, I would say the DC to beat is the creature's initiative, and I rolled a natural 20. So...
Thank God we are not in the room.
Ruthless.
Yeah. I would feel really bad for anybody that's in the room with that thing. Oh.
It might be fine. Okay. So, the creature hones in on you, Tinker. You are incorrect. It is going to raise its one of its arms is carrying some kind of rod type weapon. It sort of almost looks like it's built into one of the arms itself, but as it points its arm at you, it sort of extends and coalesces into something that looks like it's distinctly pointing at you. It's gonna scrabble to within 10 feet of you. You are currently on the floor. Could you please make me a dexterity saving throw with disadvantage?
I'm not going to get any worse than that. A natural 1 for a 0.
Okie dokie. Here we go. Okay, so let's.
Mm-mm.
A cone of fire just burns towards you. It's kind of like in a ring shape. Could you please... Oh, flip. I forgot. No, I didn't. Could you please take 17 fire damage?
You said 7, and I got very worried there because I thought it was going to be the
0.
other end.
Yeah.
Quick math in my head is that. Yep.
I will give you a oh yeah, sorry, because your con has changed now. You will be using your hit points from your final stat block, which is better.
It's a lot better.
A lot better. Great.
A lot better.
It is going to turn around. So I think you saw before it kind of honed in on you. It says you are incorrect. There was part of it that sort of flickered back to looking at the Arboretum, and then it made the decision to come for you. It burns into you, and then it is also going to get in. It's within 10 feet of you, so it doesn't need to get any closer. Another couple of arms are going to towards you and stab down. Here we go. Does a 23 hit you?
Yes.
That one's higher as well. Does an 18 hit you?
Yes.
That's 3 hits. I'm going to have to do a lot of quick maths here. Actually, no, I'm going to roll that. So that's going to be 3 hits. So that's going to be... no, don't roll the d10. That's just cruel. Yeah, that one. as these arms slice and stab down into you. Oh, I've got animations on my dice. They're really thinking about it. They're like, that is going to do 42 points of damage.
Oh yeah, I'm down.
Oh.
Peace out, bye.
And then it's going to look at you, see that you're down, and walk towards, like, over to the Arboretum entrance. That's its turn. Curiosity.
Whispering, Curiosity's going to say to Sassy and Dree, how many minutes have we got left on our timer?
I'm going to say
just
at
asking.
this point, you've got about 6 minutes left.
Do you think we should just run and jump down the shaft and see what else we can find in the time we've got left?
I'm grateful you're the one suggesting that. I was afraid if I said it, it was sounding insensible. Thank you.
Tinker will be okay. We'll see him in about 6 minutes.
But if Tinker is dead, will they still be included in the reset?
Okay, second plan. You two run,
No.
go
You
see
two-
what else, and I'll get
You two
Tinker.
go. I get Tinker.
I
Who's-
have healing as well.
Me too.
Oh, okay, you can go. Bye.
And Free just jumps
Yep.
through the lift.
There I
You
go.
might be abusing talking as a free action, maybe slightly, but...
Okay, so to be clear, your movement speed is 30 feet. It will probably take you a round and a half to get to the Great Hall. It will take you 2.5 rounds of movement to get to the lift shaft. And sorry, my brain just ceased to function for a second there. It's going to take you 2.5 rounds worth of movement to get to the lift shaft. In that time, if you are happy with me moving time forwards, if there's nothing else that you want to do, I mean, I suppose you can sprint, so you can dash, so it will take less time. So if you're going to dash, you will get to the entrance. No, you'll be able to see the entrance, but you won't be at the entrance by the time it gets to the creature's next turn. Are you going to be stealthy at all?
I would like to cast invisibility on myself.
Okay.
I've
Great.
got passive art as trace. All right.
You
Curiosity,
do have-
Curiosity and Dream, I guess we'll go to the shaft. And Sassy, see if you can get Tinker, or do you want me to try and get Tinker? Because I can sneak.
I think I can get Tinker on my own.
Okay, cool. I'll go with... I'll
Okay.
sneak and double dash, so that I guess that's just one then.
If you're sneaking and dashing, what? My brain is.
Well, yeah, sorry, using my full movement, dashing and sneaking, so that
You're
would
trying
be
to do it
just my
stealthily.
full movement, wouldn't it?
Right. Okay. Yes. Yeah. Fine. So, so Dree has made it sort of, you can see the Great Hall, but you're not there. So you get you've cast invisibility. And does invisibility affect the noise you make?
No, it does not.
Okay.
But I will attempt to not trip over rubble as I rush on my way.
Okay. In that case, you've cast invisibility as your action. Can you please roll me a stealth check? Curiosity, if you're sneaking and being purposely stealthy, then you don't need to roll a stealth check and you won't be as far in anyway. Sassy, are you doing the same as Curiosity? Or are you charging forwards like Dree?
Sassy is very afraid of the darkness, but it's because there is darkness inside. And I let that darkness out, and a sphere of twilight goes around myself. So it's 30 feet. Hopefully, that will give them as well a little bit of help, but we're going in opposite directions, so it's up to you. So that is going to be my action. Use a little bit of movement to get as close to Tinka, and then I can cast Healing Word.
What's the
60
range
feet
on
away.
it? 60 feet. I'm going to say 30 feet would have been 1, 2. Okay. So, yes, we'll come back to that. Dree, what did you roll on your stealth check?
Don't have path work tricks, right? Just so I remember correctly.
No,
I mean,
it was only cast on Tinker and Curiosity.
Cool.
Oh, well,
19.
it follows me.
Oh, it follows you?
Then 29.
Oh. Okay. Let me just check. Yeah, okay. Interesting. So you skid to the entrance of the Great Hall, but you're just a little bit further back. And you see this creature there turning towards the Arboretum. Curiosity, you're further behind, you can't see this yet. And Sassy, you end up where Dree is. I need to actually check your initiative order now just to see what goes on. Haha. Tinker, because you are lowest in the initiative order, Sassy gets to cast Healing Word before I make you death saving throw.
Ooh.
Please roll your Healing Word. What? This is a spell that requires a verbal component.
Yes.
Yes. Your Twilight ability affects vision, but not sound, correct?
Yes.
Can you please make me a stealth check to do it quiet enough? And for you, because the stealth is a dexterity, this is a bit mean. That's cocked. Ooh. Interesting. Bear with. The DC is 14.
Am I close enough to Curiosity?
You're within 30 feet.
So yes.
Pass without trace is within 30 feet, yes?
I think so.
Curiosity?
Yeah, 30 feet radius.
Great. Then yes.
So that would be plus 10. So I need to roll a 1 to fail, I think. So that is a 10 on the dice, plus 10, plus 2. So 22.
22. Incredible. Do you want to please tick your dexterity box?
Bling, 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 bling. Thank you.
And so you try and be sneaky and you remember this is how it should be.
Yes. And, you know, sometimes even when it's dark at night, you can still see the moon when it's new moon, when there is no moon. So there is a little bit of that sort of dim light coming from me towards Tinka. And Tinka gets healing. There we go. Max, no, 0. I'm lying, 6. Could have been more, but yeah, 6.
Nice.
Thank you.
Tinker, you are brought back. I'm going to say you're still on the floor because that was your position before you were knocked down. Great. It will now be your turn.
I will see all of them going to come out of the research and development area. I will stand up, pick up a rock, and the rock, my chest cavity opens up, and I place the rock inside like a small gap that's there. It closes. There's a bit of a ding, 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 not sort of sound and a bit of jiggling, and then it opens. I pull the rock out and I lob it to the corner of the atrium, opposite direction to where everybody else is. And as it hits the floor, it ignites an image of Tusk, and he's going. For podcast listeners, doing sort of like a jolly dance,
Little jolly dance.
in the direction of the creature to try and distract it, using magical tinkering.
Incredible. A couple of things I want to clarify. When you say your chest opens up, most of your chest is a big eye. What part?
The part that
Just
isn't.
tell the story for me.
The pupil.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
the
So
camera.
the pupil bit opens up, and I just slot the thing inside, and then it closes. Opens up again. I pull it out. So
You temporarily blind yourself to do
Yeah.
this. Okay. I'm sure that won't have consequences.
It's like putting contacts in.
Okay. I'm gonna do a Nat style super quick map sketch just to clarify where you are putting this. So, engineering, arboretum, research, lift.
So it'd be in the top right corner of the Great Hall, looking at the maps.
So you came out here.
Yep.
And this is where your little rolly ball friend came out of.
So
This is where your pals are. This is where the creature is right now.
So I will throw it in the corner between engineering and the arboretum. I can't say it properly, but yeah, I'll throw it there.
Where you are.
So where I am, and then I'm gonna book it towards the lift.
Towards the lift. Okay. For that then. Let me see. The task thing doesn't make any noise, right?
Just double check quickly, because I've got one that can make noise and one. A static visual effect appears. Oh, so it'll be static. So it'll just be Tusk standing there in his
Yeah.
pose. Appears on
Can
the.
it be Tusk on a shark?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, Tusk on the shark. A static visual effect appears on one of the object surfaces. This effect can be a picture, up to 25 words of text, lines, and shapes, or a mixture of these elements as you like.
Great.
Yeah, so it's a image of Tusk's statue on the shark.
Fabulous. Okay. Just computing. Processing. Bear with. Lovely. And then you're going to run in the opposite direction. Good. You are not within 10 feet of it, so you can. There's no attack of opportunity. So you start running. At the top of the round, the creature is going to rotate the top part of its body, like the head. It seems to be able to rotate 180 degrees completely. It's like it looks at the image of Tusk and then doesn't care and just looks directly at you. But then it's going to look at you, and it doesn't. Again, it's a construct. It doesn't seem to have facial features in the same way that you don't. So it's not like you can easily read an expression. And I'll give you this for free. You can't think or hear it. It is not networked to you. It's then going to rotate its head around, raise its firearm again towards the wall of plants, and burn its way through. It is then going to use its full movement to junk, and head into the arboretum.
feel like that might be the direction that's important.
Curiosity, it's your turn.
I'm gonna go yeet myself off down a shaft. See what happens down there.
Phrasing?
Fully intentional.
Perfectly timed with Josh taking a drink as well. Heck, that's what we like to see. Great. So I'd say, let's check. Dree, Sassy, your intentions?
Jump to the
Jump
left.
down the lift shaft. Jump down the lift shaft. Great. Okay. I'm going to say in that case, we're out of initiative. Your sensor has pinged. You have, we're at 25 minutes.
We have 3 minutes. 3 minutes.
Where are you going? So I'm going to say you're going to fall. So you hit the, okay. As you say, you've jumped down the lift shaft. As was left in Nexus, the lift is on this level. There is a lever. I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt, Curiosity, and Dree. You have seen there used to be a Doris here that was responsible for pulling the lever to move the lift shaft to different levels. It's not here anymore, but you've seen the lever be used before, so I'll give you the benefit of the doubt and say that you can use it. It is a little slow, so I would say that once it's maybe halfway between the floors, it becomes a reasonable distance for you to jump off and roll. If speed is what you're after.
Mm.
Yep.
Great. Where are you going? What is your plan?
Everybody pick a different direction and run. We've got 3 minutes.
The DM
And
just
we
going,
start chasing
"Oh,
each
no."
other. Insert funny sounds here.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Would any of us
Actually playing.
Yep.
On
I
the
start
mandolin.
shouting.
On the mandolin.
I start shouting DR01 or the other name.
would we know where any of us know where Dr. Durrani's office is?
DR33. Dree, make me a history check.
Can do. Luckily, I have
And
not
the-
unlocked intelligence yet.
Yeah, I was going to say the DC for this is going to be a 15.
Guidance.
Okay. Oh, cool. Is that number D4?
Yes, for guidance.
You got this. Double guidance.
You can't double guidance. You
Of course
get
you
one
can.
guidance.
You can't stack spells. It's so annoying.
18.
Oh,
18. Amazing. So, you remember vague conversations with, because Dr. Bindell has obviously been occasionally a colleague of Dr. Durrani. You have once previously been asked to follow him down to this level to go to her office. You were not allowed inside, but you remember where it was in that corridor. So you know that direction.
Cool. I run in that direction.
Where is everyone else going? On this floor, as a reminder, there is, as you're coming down the lift to, I believe it was to the right, is the engineering and maintenance level 2. To the left is the Central Nexus Hub Chamber, Research Labs, Dr. Durrani's office, and straight ahead of you is Tusk's office.
go towards Tuck's office.
I avoid that like the plague.
Yeah.
I feel like Sassy is like, maybe Mirani came to hide here, and we'll go to the other
The other level
engineering
of
and
engineering.
maintenance.
Okay, great. Okay. Just
Could
thinking,
I-
like, yes.
Sorry, because I said I was just going to avoid Tusk's office. I didn't say actually where I was going. Could I stand in the middle of the Great Hall? Can I try and focus on the connection with the fifth person? See if there's a way to
Yeah,
connect with them.
Sure. Okay. We're going to start with Dree. you are able to run down the corridor. So you're going to your left into the this old joke again, the Central Nexus Hub Chamber, but not the Central Nexus Hub Chamber itself, just the area known as the Central Nexus Hub Chamber. And then you're able to turn right down the corridor and head towards Dr. Durrani's office. It's a mess. It's dark. There's rubble. It looks like there is dried up goo on the floor and a table that's been thrown at the wall and splintered. The door has been left open. The office itself is a wreck. I'm going to say that's the glimpse you get before I hop round to someone else. Curiosity, you're heading towards Tusk's office. You managed to make it inside. It's just straight ahead of you. It's relatively simple. And inside, it's relatively ordered and neat. It doesn't look like any fights happened in here. There is a plate with a couple of moldy cake crumbs on it. There is a letter with a knife stabbed down into it. Oh no, no longer. There's a letter left on the desk with a knife next to it. And it looks like relatively ordered. There is a lift at the far end that looks like it's the platform that you would stand on is not on this level, like it's been taken up. Sassy, you start heading into the engineering and maintenance on this level. Can you please make me an investigation check if you're specifically looking for Minari?
4.
4. I think what it is you turn one way down the corridor, because again it's this same sort of rectangle shape of corridors. Like you go into the main area, there's a big rectangle of corridors, so you could go multiple different ways. There's lots of different rooms in here to look. And I think you're in such a like, I've only got 3 minutes, that you're seeing everything but nothing at the same time. And I think there's maybe a bit of rubble that you stumble over in your frantic looking. Tinker, trying to focus on the connection. Could you please make me a perception check with, I'm going to say with advantage, because you're specifically focusing on the telepathic link.
Natural 20. 4, 20, 19. Because I haven't unlocked it yet. Oh no, I have unlocked it. Sorry. Brain. 24.
Such excitement. Exuberance. Okay. With a natural 20, you are 100% sure that DR01 is not here. Like, she's nowhere to be found. She's definitely not here. What I will give you, though, in this great hall, Gregarious Tusk was fond of, like, big artistic gestures and statements. I mean, we've not been to the level 1 Great Hall here, but those of you who have watched Nexus will know that there was a water fountain with a statue of Gregarious Tusk riding a shark as the main central feature of that water fountain on the first level. And we can only assume that on the other levels he would make similar ostentatious, grand nods to artistry. On the level 2 layer, the Great Hall that we've seen multiple times in this game so far, there wasn't anything, but there was lots of rubble, so it could be that something has been destroyed. On this level, relatively unscathed by the carnage that has happened before, I will say it sort of goes without saying that whatever sort of big open space you're in, there are bodies. And once again, it's a good job you don't have olfactory sensors. What there is in this great hall on the 3rd level is a sculpture of It's like a big metal ball. Bigger than all of you. And as you're starting to look for those things that connect and reach out with your networking, your little ball that has come with you, has followed you down the lift shaft, looks up at you, looks at the ball, the big sculpture, looks up at you and goes, oh! And that's where we're going to leave it for tonight.
Suspicious.
Suspicious.
Thank you very much, everyone, for joining us for a couple of revolutions tonight and revelations as well. Oh my gosh. If you enjoyed it, we play every Monday and Tuesday from 6 p.m. UK time, and you can join us on Fridays for something. Some kind of show or other on Fridays.
Equally cool.
Equally cool, but it's not been settled yet. Woo!
At the time of recording.
At the time of recording, which is very far in advance. So Mondays for the next 2 weeks, we've got more Nexus Revolutions. And Tuesdays, I believe we have The Wreckage of Mithranor.
Or Mithranor, however
Or
you want to say it.
Mithranor, if you want to be Larian. And you can watch all of this at Roll Together RPG on Twitch. And you can watch it later when we're not streaming live on Twitch and YouTube. And you can find us on the socials, searching for Roll Together RPG. A big thank you again to all of our sponsors and supporters. And thank you to our Patreon. There'll be a link in chat if you want to support us and be as cool as they are. And yeah, come join us for more dice rolling adventures soon. Thank you very much, everyone. Good night.